This will be a Cisco Webex workforce optimization demonstration. Let's go ahead and take a look at the agent experience. Cumulus has implemented the Cisco Webex workforce optimization application to help the agents with their scheduling, shift change requests, time off requests, and performance optimization. This is an agent dashboard, and it gives them a variety of performance information as soon as they log in. These stack rankings, etc. can be individualized to the team, the agent, the role within the organization, etc. So these views are not just a one-size-fits-all, they can be customized to the organization and the people within it. In this dashboard setup, we can easily see the average daily contact numbers and see how that compares to the team average, and she can also see how many of her contacts were scheduled to be evaluated and the percentage of those that have been evaluated at this point. We can see how the contact evaluation scores trended over time, in this case on a week-by-week basis, and we can see her schedule at a glance, looking at today's date, and you can easily change this by clicking on another day if you need to review the schedule for that day. We can also see here the 5 best interaction scores and the 5 worst interaction scores. And if an agent wanted to go ahead and review what happened to receive that score, they can go ahead and click right on the contact number to bring up the advanced quality monitoring window. On the left-hand side, we can see all the metadata that was saved with this contact, and this can include perhaps third-party information such as from a CRM if that's been integrated into the workforce optimization solution. And to watch and listen to what was going on screen at the time, and to listen to the audio recording, you can just hit on the play button. And you can use the screen capture expansion button or the evaluation expansion button as needed to be able to see these items clearer.
Thank you for calling Sienna Creek. How can I help you today?
Hi, I've been trying to get through, but your IVR system kept me in some kind of loop forever.
Oh, I hear that a lot. I'm sorry about that. We probably should make it easier. Before we start, can I confirm who I'm speaking with?
Yes, this is John Cooper. Whenever I try to log in today, it keeps sending me back to the launch page. I've already spent 20 minutes just to get to you.
Great. Before we can go further, I'm going to need to verify.
So on the screen, we can see the call transcription for this call, and I can see key phrases that were highlighted during the call transcription as defined on the system. These might be things such as keywords or phrases that led to upsell opportunities, or phrases to keep in compliance with your call response script. In the speech energy bar, we can see when the caller was speaking in red and when the agent was speaking in blue, and see any sentiment indicators. And the agent can go ahead and review the evaluation scores and see where it was that the supervisor had marked the contact as perhaps less than optimal and pointing out areas for improvement. So there is a lot of information here to help me understand what I did right and or how I can improve my customer interactions in the future. Another thing an agent will do within the workforce optimization application is to work with the My Schedule application. They can look at this from the perspectives of a single day, a week, or a month. This shows today's date by default, but you can move to any other date that you need to see. And it will show all of the activities that the agent has on their schedule, such as time scheduled to be supporting customers, breaks, lunch, training, meetings, etc. Let's take a look at this from the weekly view and also the monthly view. So an agent can easily review their schedule in either a short-term or a long-term view here. And by clicking on messaging, they can easily make schedule modification requests, such as requesting personal time off. Here I can see the status of past schedule modification requests, or an agent could go ahead and add a new request by clicking on the new request button and then picking the category. This shows the agent their bank of hours available to use for this paid time off request, and putting in a request for a long weekend off is really easy. And the request can be processed automatically so an agent can have a reply immediately, or they can be sent in for manual approval or denial via supervisors if there are conflicts. Let's now take a look at the supervisor dashboard experience. Here we see Rick Barrows, our supervisor, logged into the Workforce Optimization dashboard. As a supervisor, I can define multiple dashboard views to help me see overviews of various elements of the contact center. Each of these dashboards can have different information showing. With this dashboard view, we wanted to show the agent rankings, and we can adjust the rankings by clicking on any of the column headers Also, any combination of KPIs, key performance indicators, could be shown in this chart, as well as other metrics that you can bring into the chart from third-party apps via the APIs, such as the total revenue shown here per agent. We're also displaying contact trends by team over time. So we can see which teams have which trends and modify the chart as we need to very easily. And these trends could be positive or negative indicators depending on if these are sales or support issues. In this case, it's sales, so these contacts are potential sales opportunities. In the bottom right chart, we have the agent revenue per hour, so I can see how each of the agents that I manage are performing over the weeks, shown in this chart. And I can easily drill down into any of these bars to see the specific data associated with it. And I can even easily drill right down into any of these contacts by clicking on the contact number to bring up the advanced quality monitoring window, where I could then go ahead and play and listen to and review and comment on this interaction from this agent to this customer.
Thank you for calling Sienna Creek. How can I help you today?
Hi, I've been trying to get through, but your IVR system kept me in some kind of loop forever.
Allowing me to easily provide feedback to the agents to continually improve our contact center engagements and our agent skills. Now let's return to the original dashboard that we were looking at. And editing any of these dashboards is very easy by clicking on the Edit Dashboard button, which would then allow me to set up the dashboard exactly as I want it. And I can have multiple saved dashboards quickly available to me in this dashboard view. For example, this predictive evaluations dashboard. Or you can show any of the others available right on the supervisor desktop. Let's take a look at analytics at the macro and micro levels now. Our supervisor, Rick, has created an analytics dashboard. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Here he can see why the customers are calling, the call types, and see the trends graphed over time. Looking at the agent revenue per hour chart, he can see how his newer agents are performing compared to the senior agents. Brian in red and Beth in yellow are the newer agents, and he can easily see that their revenue per hour is improving every week as he expects that it would have. In looking at the call type trending chart, he can see how many calls per week resulted in upgrade offers or collection issues to see if we have billing or pricing issues that are driving that call volume, or apologies due to service interruptions, etc. All of this is configurable, including the words that are said on the calls that we want to capture, the time frame, etc. And you can also see on this chart which applications the agents were typically using during that time. While they were on active or on hold states, he can see that they were using Chrome with Salesforce.com, which is what they should be doing. So at a macro level, he's quickly and easily able to click into any of these areas to see which applications the agents were typically using. But he can see here that a large percentage of the time has been spent on YouTube. So moving from the macro level to the micro level to see what the agents were doing is as easy as a click of a button. And this chart shows which agents were typically doing that. And he can go ahead and click right in on any of these contacts to go right in and see what was going on. And now he's on the advanced quality monitoring application where he can click on the play button to really drill in and see what the agents were doing.
Hello? Thank you for calling Sienna Creek Services, where business is business.
It's about time. I've been pushing the button in your IVR and waiting for like an hour. All I want to do is speak to someone about updating the account features. How hard can that really be?
I understand.
So using this drill down, he can confirm the behavior and see how long that lasted, etc., and address the issues as necessary. And there's also a find capability within transcription where he can type in words to see where that might have shown up within the call and how many times it shows up within the call. Another valuable capability within the workforce optimization is the machine learning technology. We do predictive evaluations, predicting NPS scores, etc., which takes all the data from the calls, the applications that the agents were on, the words that were said, etc., then takes the manual evaluations that we've done in the past and makes a predictive model of what to expect knowing that we can only truly evaluate a small percentage of the calls. Then we can decide from there if we want to look for calls that were particularly good or bad, or do random sampling, etc. Another sample of machine learning is to detect the sentiment of the call. This works off of the words that are in the transcriptions. So based on the words that are said, what are those things that are driving a positive, a neutral, or a negative sentiment? In the lower right corner are the top phrases that come up in interactions based on the search criteria shown right above it, such as mentioning the 2-year term during a call, which we want our agents to be sure to mention, and also asking if there's anything else that they can help the customer with. Those are terms that are indicative of positive context for us and keep the calls on track. And I can easily see who my top 10 agents are regarding the customer sentiments provided after the call, both from an actual and a predictive standpoint. This gives us the insights that we can then put into our processes and training to further improve our customer service. And the other charts here show us summary analytics on the feedback that we've received overall from our customers. And the last part that we'll have a quick look at is workforce management, forecasting, and scheduling. As a supervisor, I need information to help me forecast so that I'll have just enough people online and servicing our customers so that we can operate as efficiently and effectively as possible. Via my supervisor dashboard, I can quickly get to the planning tool under the Schedules and Planning pull-down. And here we have our forecasting tool. This chart is currently set up to look at a standard forecast, looking at our sales call queue, and for a specific date that we had in mind. By changing these selections, this chart can be easily modified and saved to represent other data points as I feel are necessary. And the panels in the main part of the screen can be set up any way you would like, but in our demo, we have the contact numbers showing first. This shows our forecasted number of contacts versus the actual number of contacts on half-hour intervals for a specific day. Since this date is in the past, this chart shows the actual contact numbers line. And I can easily switch this chart to show a weekly or a monthly view if that is what's preferred. But we'll go back to the daily view for now. In the Agents panel, there are 3 numbers shown here: the forecasted number of agents needed, the scheduled number of agents, and then the number of agents that actually worked that day. Perhaps some were allowed to be there for overtime, or in other instances, perhaps some were out on sick leave. In the Time panel, I can see our numbers around the average talk time forecasted, the average work time forecasted, and then the actual numbers associated with both of these. And all of this is tied to service level goals and actuals shown in the rightmost service level panel. Our service level goal dictates that we want 80% of our calls answered within 20 seconds. We can see the numbers associated with the number of agents forecasted, how many were on shift, and how we did with regards to our service goals, and can address issues with data backing up situations that have arisen. And I can export this data out if I need this data outside of the workforce optimization application for any reason, such as if I wanted to apply different math to a forecast and then copy and paste that modified data back into the workforce management to work with it further. And making a new request is as easy as following the wizard via a click of a button. And if I need help with anything, help is only a click away, and it will get you right to the spot in the online documentation that you need when you hit the help button. Now let's look at the resulting agent schedules. Under Schedules and Planning, Agent Schedules. I want to see the sales call service queue, so that's what I have selected here. And on the left shows everyone with the skills to support that particular service queue globally. So we can see that those agents in the APJC area are covering the first time shifts, and then the EMEA agents come on after that, and then the Americas agents finish the day's shifts. Any of the agents with a lock symbol are agents that I cannot control or manipulate their schedules, as they are managed by another supervisor. And I can see what any of my agents are doing by moving my mouse over the color associated with that time slot. And there are 2 pop-outs on the screen. So let's take a look at what additional information applicable to the agent schedules and forecasts are provided. The first one is the adherence pullout. This pop-out will show you information on each agent's scheduled activity, their current state, the state duration, and their scheduled adherence and conformance percentage information for the day. A green check mark shows that this agent is in adherence, and a red bubble here would say that the agent is not doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. I can also click on any of the agent's names to drill into the specific state change, duration, and adherence information to see exactly what might have taken them out of adherence in case we need to discuss specific details together, or in case I want to review a recorded call that was occurring at that time, etc. In the other slide out, access through this coverage button right here shows us the coverage for each time slot represented by the vertical color bars, and it also shows line charts showing what our service level goal possibility was with the number of agents working at that time. And if it was in the past, it will show the actual service number levels achieved. As I click into some of these vertical bars, we can see how if I had enough agents working, typically our service level goals were achieved. But if we were understaffed at certain times, that typically resulted in us not reaching our service level commitments. This is valuable information that we need to be able to rectify both overstaffed and understaffed scenarios in the future, helping us to be as efficient as possible while also meeting our service level commitments to our customers and our business. And I can toggle on and off some of the elements within this chart that I don't need, just by clicking on the buttons on the left-hand side here. If this is a future time frame, I can adjust agent schedules to perhaps try to repair times when there are not enough agents scheduled, or move agents into other activities such as training if we have too many agents scheduled versus what is needed. And I can do this right in the same screen. I can double click on any of the agent schedules shown to be able to then make modifications as necessary. Whether the situation dictates that I should change their in-service time, or perhaps even move their scheduled breaks or training. And we can see here how moving Sandra Jefferson's scheduled start time moved us from a red situation to a green situation. And depending how severe the understaffing or overstaffing is, a supervisor may need to do this with multiple agents to rectify the situation. This was the manual method, but we can also do this dynamically by what is called intraday dynamic schedule, where we basically put the call out for volunteers. This can go both ways, where sometimes we're offering agents an opportunity to go home early if we're in an overstaffed situation, or we may be asking if agents want extra hours if we will be understaffed. The last spot that we'll look at within the workforce management is in the messaging area. I can see the messages that were sent in where agents have requested vacation time or shift swaps, etc. One of my agents, Josh, has mentioned to me that he had put in a vacation request, and I want to be sure that that's in here. Looking at my to-do list, his request doesn't show up yet, so I will click the All icon and search on Josh specifically to see his requests. I can see Josh's vacation request here, so I'll go ahead and click on this to open it up. This one was automatically handled by automated workflows, which helps offload supervisors by handling requests like this vacation request. The workflow automatically does the checking first to be sure that the agent has the personal time off hours available to take that time off, and then is it within our allocated allotment of the number of agents on vacation at that time slot, and is there proper staffing still if we do approve his request. If all of these are true, then it will approve this request automatically. If there was a question on this, it would have been routed to me as the supervisor to make the final decision on this. It's great to have built-in automation to help me with these vacation requests and other types of requests. All of these workforce optimization capabilities help us optimize our environment and service our customers efficiently and effectively. Thank you.